Here's a video that will walk you through the process of previewing a report in your report library. So I've logged in as a client admin user into one of our demo accounts here. And when we first log in, we're taken to our dashboard and we need to head over to the report library. So to do this, we'll just find report library in the left-hand navigation bar here and we'll click on the link. When the page loads, you'll see at the top of the screen there'll be you'll have an action menu or action section that will allow you to search for and filter reports, change the view, and also toggle the number of reports that will be displayed on a page. And for this particular video, we want to demonstrate particularly the access roles selection when we are previewing reports, because it's important to understand this concept, especially when you're previewing reports with the client admin user. Because the client admin user will have the ability to preview any report in the account. And they also will have the ability to preview a report with access roles or without access roles. So in Ops Insights, there are 3 levels of criteria. There's a global level, a role level, and a user level. So a global level is actually set by the Ops Insights report writing team when reports are created. A role level is actually assigned or configured by the client admin user when reports are assigned to a role, and then a role is assigned to a user. This is how reports are assigned to users in Ops Insights. And then, of course, a user level criteria is once a role is assigned to a user, they gain access to those reports and they can go in and configure and save criteria on a user level on a per report basis. So that's a very quick overview of the criteria levels. Obviously, if you have questions above and beyond this, feel free to reach out to our support team, support@opsinsights.com, or we also have documentation about this. You can find that in the access role section of the user documentation site as well. But I want to demonstrate how this works in process here. And again, we just found this orders open report. I just know offhand because it's assigned to many roles here. So we'll go through the process of previewing this with the client admin users. We're going to click on preview here. And after clicking on preview, we're going to see a preview window pop up, and it's going to present us with a few options. We're going to have the ability to preview the report using global level criteria values, and that's going to be in its own section here. And then we'll have an access role selection here as well. So when you're previewing reports with a client admin user, again, you'll have the ability to preview it with a global level values if you'd like, or you can go in and select any role that this particular report is assigned to as well. So that's very important, because whether you select an access role or whether you select to preview a report with global level values, the criteria values that load in when you make your selection are going to vary based on what's configured on the access role or what's configured on the global level as well. And to demonstrate that, I'm just going to show you previewing the report with global level values. Click on this. So when we click on that, we can see in the report criteria section, we have a file open date, but everything else is pretty much wide open. So just to give you a little bit more information about what the report writing team tends to select when they're locking in criteria values on a global level. Typically, we try to select values that are required to run the report only. So you can see there's a red asterisk here, which designates a required field in Ops Insights. So most of the time, we're just going to select the bare minimum required criteria values. So I'll show you that, and then we'll go back and we'll try this again. We'll click preview on the orders open report, and this time we're going to select a sales and marketing role. So you can see the file open date loaded here, but we also have default values for the file status. And we also have some values for the optional partner type and optional partner company. So you can see that this particular access role was created for a sales rep user in our demo account. And you can see something that's also important of note, that this has been locked down on the role level. So this particular user, when they're previewing these reports, or any user that's assigned to this role for that fact, these criteria filtering options are going to be locked down. So the user, no matter what they do, they won't have the ability to change these, but they can go in and make changes anywhere else. We can actually override any selections here on the current file status, and we can do that because it's not locked down. But you can hover over the info icon and you can see the default values that are set on the role level. And again, we won't preview reports because we do have quite a bit of videos that are dedicated towards this. You can view all of this information on our user documentation site. And of course, if you do have additional questions about running and previewing reports, downloading them, anything of that nature, you can also reach out to our support team, support@opsinsights.com. But just wanted to quickly show you the concept of previewing reports in your report library. Obviously, when you're the client admin, you're going to see preview report here. And then from there, you can also preview with any access role that this particular report is assigned to. So this is great too. If you ever have users questioning report results, you can go in and preview the report that they're questioning and using the access role that they're using. And you can kind of see what they're seeing this way as well. Now, we do have other videos that will actually show you how to replicate a user's entire dashboard as well on our client documentation site. So check that out as well if that's something you're interested in. And one last thing before we wrap up here, I do want to show you when you're previewing reports, especially that are have required fields that have not necessarily been locked in on the global level. So this is an SLA report. And the way SLA reports work in Ops Insights is they track time between actions. This is a Resware demo account here. So we're going to track the total amount of time between two actions. And I'm going to, instead of previewing it with a role, I'm going to click on preview role or preview report using a global level. And you can see here, these are all required criteria filtering options, but they are empty. So if I try and preview this now, obviously we're not going to be able to. It's going to tell us that, hey, you've got a bunch of stuff that are required. And what we need to do here, if you are previewing this type of report that does not have anything locked in on a global level, you'll just be asked, or you'll just need to make selections for each of the required criteria filtering options before you run the report. And so we'll close that here, and then we'll show you the difference here between previewing this type of report on the global level versus previewing this type of report on the role level. So you can see here that we have all of these required criteria filtering options are selected with that particular role that we chose. And you can actually run this report if you'd like with no issues. So just wanted to point that out as well. There may be some scenarios when you attempt to or try to preview a report on the global level, and some of the required criteria filtering options may have not been selected, because the reason that we can't necessarily make selections for those on the global levels because the action names are going to vary from client to client. So again, this is a video that just kind of shows you the concept of previewing reports, whether you're selecting global level criteria filtering options, or you're selecting to preview a report using a specific access role that it's assigned to. If you have any questions about this, how access roles work, check out our client documentation site. But if you do have questions above and beyond that, or just need additional help with this, please feel free to reach out to our support team, support@opsinsights.com. Thanks. We look forward to hearing from you.